there might be somebody watching this and they're thinking, what if somebody has lost their immigration status? Is there a way to regain it?
Well, it depends on how they've lost it and what we're talking about. What, I mean, are we, you know, have they lost their green card, like physically lost it, or have they actually, has it been taken away? That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If your card has expired, you haven't lost your green card. It's just you need to file to get it. You need to get another green card.
Okay.
But if someone's taken it away, then that's a difference. Then it's a whole, then it's, is there another option? Was it taken away lawfully?
You've said you've worked as an immigration attorney for 20 years, which that is a long time, my goodness. So you have probably worked with hundreds, if not thousands of clients. What do you think makes a good attorney-client relationship? What is some of the client's expectations should be, or what are some of the expectation a client should have or not have? Pretty much the do's and don'ts.
I mean, the one thing is tell your attorney everything. Everything that you say is confidential. They can't repeat it. They won't, you know, if you've done something that you're embarrassed about or uncomfortable about, or you know, tell them everything so they can adequately represent you. Everything you say is confidential. They can't go and tell somebody. So unless it's, you're gonna try to hurt somebody, of course, but you know, but I think that's important. Communication is key, being responsive. So if you're applying for, I mean, there's not a deadline to apply for citizenship. So, you know, be responsive to your lawyer so that she can file, he or she can file it, you know, within a reasonable time.
Okay. That's really good. Communication, right? I guess it transcends even from relationship to even immigration now. Communication.
Yeah, communication is huge. You know, and your attorney should be responsive. I mean, you should, if you hire a lawyer, you should get a copy of your application. You know, you should be reviewing it with them. You should always have a copy of your immigration papers. Make sure you keep them. The attorney should be keeping you advised on your case. You know, you can email them, you know, but, you know, processing is long, so it takes a long time too.
Okay. So. Sometimes, I was just thinking this when you were saying that sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So somebody might not necessarily know what to ask or stuff they should know. Is this something that a lawyer would help you navigate? What are some of the things you're like, as a client, you should probably know this? Are there stuff with that?
I mean, your attorney should tell you what the process is. So like what this, you know, the first step of a naturalization case would be you meet with an attorney. You know, they talk about generally the requirements of citizenship, how you fit in, whether or not it's a good idea for you to apply. And then in our office, the paralegals would send you a questionnaire to complete. You would, you know, you would go through that and answer the questions. And then there'd be another meeting with me to go over it, to make sure, you know, go over your answers, make sure that we're all on the same page. And if we are, and it's safe for you to apply for citizenship, we go ahead and do that. Then the next step would be the receipt notice from immigration. And they schedule you for a biometrics appointment, get your fingerprints taken. Then the USCIS interview, and then that's where they go over the citizenship application with you, as well as the civics test is done, and the civics and English reading and writing test is done. And if you're successful, then they would do the oath. So that's kind of like the whole, the big timeline as a citizenship process. You know, if I was representing a client, when it gets to the time of the interview, I'd meet with the client and determine, do you want me to go to the interview with you, or you feel comfortable going on your own?
Okay. Is there an advantage to either one?
There is. For some clients, it's just a sense of comfort.
Okay.
Some clients, I will say, you need me to come. Okay. Like there's something in your past that I need to be able there to where I need to be there to explain. Sometimes, it just gives people comfort. I mean, immigration, they know the lawyers there, they can't do anything, so I think it's at people's comfort level. Okay. And then the particular facts of that case, whether or not a lawyer needs to be there.
Okay. which brings me to my next question. Do immigration attorney ever turn down clients? And if so, why?
Yeah, they do turn. I mean, they could turn out a client. Maybe it's a case that they, they're not comfortable. They don't have that skill set to do it. They didn't know it when they scheduled the consultation.
Okay.
Maybe you can't come to an agreement on the fee arrangement.
Okay.
Maybe they think it's not a good idea to apply and they don't want to take it because of that.
Okay.
Maybe they don't get along, they don't like you, or you don't like us, there's always that, it's a relationship that you're submitting. I mean, you want to like the people that you're working with, and so is your client should like the attorney, or, because it's gonna be your trusted advisor on this process. It's important, it's a great accomplishment to become a citizen, but you want to be comfortable through that process.
Okay. You just reminded me, while I was applying for my application, my attorney, and that's years back, after our first meeting, the consultation meeting, at the end, he said, I'm going to talk to the team to see if we're going to take the case. And for me, that was a shocker. In my mind, I was thinking, my case is really that bad? You need to consult with the rest of the team. So if somebody hears something like that, they shouldn't be alarmed.
No, because it may be, another reason people could be looking at the level of case, the number of cases they have. Do they have a capacity to handle one more case?
Oh, okay.
Do they have the capacity? And sometimes, depending on the case, it could be then they're trying to go find the assistant that's going to help them with the case, and want to bring that person in. So there's various reasons for that.
And you touched on earlier that an attorney cannot say whatever conversation you have. The phrase attorney-client privilege is often used. What does that really mean, attorney-client privilege?
So anything that attorney-client, so anything you tell me, I can't tell anyone else. It's protected. So.
Oh, wow. Throughout the conversation.
Correct. And even if you leave and you go somewhere else, your secrets are my secrets, and I can't tell them to anyone.
Okay.
I can't, if you had a friend calling me, what's the status of my friend's case? I can't say a word.
Okay. That is important for, I think, viewers to see, and I guess I can share this as well. I am an interpreter, and if the client being represented by an attorney is a limited English speaker, that attorney-client privilege transcends even with an interpreter. So the interpreter themselves cannot go outside and talk to details of your case. I say that so that one should not be afraid or withhold information for fear of the interpreter is going to go share that information somewhere else. Even if you meet them, probably meet them out in public, grocery store, at a mosque, a church, or a party. And they will probably say hello. And if you try to ask details of the case or just something about the case, their response will probably be, I am sorry, I am not able to discuss the case with you. And so they're not trying to be rude, but because they adhere to some certain code of conduct, they cannot. So just remember that if you're watching this, that one should not withhold information because we have this other person, the interpreter. And Carin, do you have anything to add to that? It doesn't even have to be an interpreter. It could be maybe a third attorney, or maybe you're not available and there's somebody there on covering for you. Is that conversation also protected?
Yeah, so anything, and if you talk to anyone in my office, it's they understand the rule, and that client confidences are crucial, and the staff knows that and will not talk about it. And then even at these clinics, there's attorney-client privilege there as well. It's fully protected.
And the clinic you're referring to, that one day?
Yes, they sign confidentiality agreements there as well.
Oh wow, that is really, really good to know. Let's see here. Well, the pandemic has changed a lot of things for all of us. where are attorney-clients meeting taking place right now? Have they moved from offices to online platforms such as Zoom or WebEx? And if that's the case, are those conversations also privileged under attorney-clients?
Yes. We've moved, since the pandemic, we've moved to meeting our clients on Zoom, and it is protected just the same.
Oh, wow. So one should not be afraid to
No.
meet an attorney via Zoom and think, is it protected or not?
No, I mean, we also do phone calls, but, I think, Zoom, that's, I guess, if there's any blessing in the pandemic, I think it is more helpful for folks to actually be able to do it through Zoom, because there's no travel time.
Sure.
People can, it's a lot easier to find, a time that works for everybody. I think sometimes it's a little easier. You're just in your pleasure of your own home, or wherever you are, you're in your car and you don't have to drive down to downtown Seattle. So I think some of that's a little added convenience.
Okay, so even the phone call communication are also privileged as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really, really helpful to know. For somebody watching this and they're probably maybe considering hiring an attorney or seeking legal advice, and it doesn't have to be you, it could be any attorney, and they're fearful or maybe feel a little bit intimidated for whatever that reason might be, what would you tell that individual?
Well, there's no reason to be afraid. You may not have, if you've had experience with immigration with lawyers in the past, maybe you just haven't found the right one that will work for you. And so just keep looking. But attorney's there to help you. They want to help you become your dream of becoming a U.S. citizen. So there's no reason to be, they're there to make sure that you can apply safely, and that if you apply for a green card, if you apply for a citizenship, you are going to become a U.S. citizen, and they will tell you whether or not there's something in your background that happened maybe after you got your green card that may make it hard for you to apply to become a citizen, may make it a difficult case, or may result, if immigration finds out about something, they may decide to try to take away your green card. So it's best to, your nerves may be more related to not so much the attorney, but more into the ultimate outcome. And so, you can also go to nonprofits. They can provide legal advice on this information as well. But I think understanding the process and what you need to do, or what an attorney can do for you. I mean, you can do this on your own, but I think getting good advice on how the process works will really help. I mean, there's a lot of probably videos on USCIS website that you could probably listen to, kind of talk to. I think they have some on the procedures or the processes, what an interview looks like. But I think just, don't be afraid. Okay.
That's great. That's great. You touched on some, I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios, and please tell me if you're not able to answer any of these questions. Let's say somebody was watching this and they're thinking, well, what if somebody was born here in the United States, but one of their parents is undocumented, or both are undocumented? I know there has been a couple changes years back on this. Do they qualify?
Who qualifies?
The child who was born here.
If you're born in the United States, you're automatically a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the child is automatically a U.S. citizen.
Okay. There are some changes or new updates in regards to citizenship through naturalization that you're like, oh, this has changed now,
There hasn't been any changes to I mean, the most recent change, I guess, is in December of 2020, they put out a new list of questions. Those questions have been withdrawn and they're back to the old questions. So that's really the only change that's happened to citizenship recently in the last 6 months or so.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm just quickly checking here any questions that perhaps I haven't asked. And it looks like, is there anything you can think of that I haven't asked? I pretty much think, or some maybe something that you think maybe my clients, it would be helpful for them to know, or something I tell all my clients or people.
I mean, I think it's crucial to, if you're trying to become a citizen, is make sure that review your immigration history, because you know, so that you know that there's no issues on how you got your green card, or things that have arisen since you got your green card that it can affect your citizenship. You know, no one wants to be at the citizenship interview and to find out they're not qualified because of this or that, or be put in removal proceedings because they really shouldn't have got that green card, or something's occurred that potentially would lead immigration to take it away. And so I think really getting that invite, even if you decide to file it on your own, advice of, you know, either through one of these clinics, pro bono clinics, or, you know, doing a paid consultation with an attorney, just so that someone understands how you got your green card and the facts, so that if there are any red flags, you know, after, I mean, and it's fine to review the citizenship application ahead of time, maybe bring that in when you meet with an attorney, or to kind of, because it may give rise to questions that you may have. And so I think just, you know, you are applying for a benefit. I mean, immigration doesn't, you know, citizenship is awesome, and they want, you know, and it's a great thing to have, but they're going to scrutinize your case, and they've been doing that. So,
okay. That's great to know that people have the option, if they do decide to seek an attorney to represent them, they have that option, but they can also apply for themselves if they feel like they're ready, they know what the process is, they also have that option as well. Viewers, I know we have discussed so much in such a short time period because of the restrictions of time. I hope this video was helpful. We tried to condense as much information as we can. So feel free to rewatch this if you need to pause it, share it with friends and family who you think might find this information helpful. Carin, I want to thank you so much for your time and having this sit down with me. It has been a pleasure. I have learned a ton. It was quite insightful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Irene. I've enjoyed it as well. I mean, it's been great. It's good questions. I hope that we've got good information out to folks, so that when people, I mean, I think it's, you know, citizenship is something that I strive for all my clients to, you know, if it makes sense for them, to go for it. You know, you get the right to vote in the U.S. elections, you get a passport. I mean, I think those, you know, and then if you need to leave the U.S. for a longer period of time, you can, and always come back. Okay. Because right now with a green card, you have to live and remain in the United States. So if you're gone at any one period for more than 1 year, you lose your card unless you file a reentry permit. If you're gone more than 6 months, there's different questions are asked when you return. So, you know, until you're a citizen, you know, you're not fully safe in the United States. For all and there's just benefits of becoming a citizen too.
Mm-hmm. True. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having this sit down with me. I appreciate it. It has been a pleasure. Last question as we close. Where can people find a list of immigration attorney if they decide to seek one?
Okay. Well, you can seek me if you would like. My website is at immigrationattorneyseattle.com. You can also look at American Immigration Lawyers Association. Their website is AILA.org. And there's a referral list. It's a national organization, and I'm a member of it, and most immigration lawyers are a member, if they're good ones, are a member. And you can seek a referral to an immigration attorney that way.
Okay.
If you went to a citizenship clinic, at least the ones in Washington State, and it ends up that they've determined that it's not safe for you to apply to become a citizen without the assistance of an attorney, they'll have a list of attorneys that they can give you, and you can seek the assistance of one of them as well.
Okay. And you said it's called the American.
It's called One America, but the program is called New Americans.
Okay, that is the one-day program. What about the national organization of that?
Okay, so American Immigration Lawyers Association. So
Okay.
it's called AILA, AILA.
Okay, and that's where if somebody is watching this and they are in Atlanta, they can go to that website and they'll have a list of all the.
Well, there's a referral, there's a immigration referral tab that they can submit to, and then the association will end up sending an email out to people in that area.
Okay, well, that was really helpful. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for the last comment and advice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Irene.
Thank
Bye.
you.